Hi, I'm Eric,
And I'm Heather.
and we are pre-engaged.
Welcome to another pre-engaged mailbag video.
Gloria from Houston, Texas sent us this question. I wanted some tips on praying for my future husband. I feel like God is leading me to a specific man. Do you have any advice?
Well, first, I would start by thanking God for this single season that you have. I know that's sometimes hard to do when you're desiring marriage so much. I definitely remember being there. But I would take some time and just thank Him and ask Him to be glorified in this season of singleness in your life, and ask Him to prepare you to be married.
And whoever God has for you, ask God to bless him, to grow him, cover him in love, and shape him, mold him, and prepare him to be a spiritual leader, and prepare him for his life's work. Ultimately, you want him to follow the calling that he has for his life and be a helpmate to him. And so he needs to know what he is called to, for you to know whether you're a good match for that.
Definitely. And ask God to guide your paths together in His perfect timing, and rely on that perfect timing because God is never late.
That's totally true. One thing I recommend is do not go to him and say, I think we're supposed to get married. This is a fast way to scare him off. And as a woman, you want to be pursued. One of the things that I often tell women is I'll ask them, how many guys are you looking for? And they'll say, one. And I'll say, do you want to pursue him or do you want him to pursue you? And most often they'll say, well, I want him to pursue me. So they'll say, so how many guys are you looking for? And sometimes they get it, and sometimes they don't say one, and I go over it again. But ultimately, the answer is zero. You're not looking for anyone. It's the guy who's pursuing you, the guy who's looking for you. And so, you're to be there to be a godly woman and to attract him with whatever God has given him to attract you, to attract him to you. And so let God do all that work for you. In the Bible, the father would often send a servant for the son to go get the woman, and that's a it's a biblical type model to where God is the one who is ultimately bringing couples together, and God is the one who's doing that. But just focus on God and His timing, and because if you try to push it, it's often going to push Him away.
Definitely. So don't jump the gun. If you think you know who you're supposed to marry, ask God to calm your spirit, to order your steps, and to give you peace until He comes to the same conclusion. Before Eric and I officially became a couple, we were good friends. I started to feel like we were probably maybe heading in a different direction, but I came to that conclusion a little bit sooner than he did. And I'm thankful that I didn't run to him and say, we should be a couple, because I think that would have definitely gotten us off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
If, and it may have even ruined the relationship completely, because that was me stepping out of my role, so to speak. So I'm glad that I waited on God, as hard as it was to do that at the time.
Mm-hmm. And also consider the character qualities you want in a husband, and ask God to help him develop those qualities, because he might not be ready yet to be marriage material, or to be married to anyone. And so, if there's a particular person in mind, then ask God to continue to develop him and to grow and mature him as he needs to be.
Definitely. And ask God to make His will clear to you when the right man does come along. It may be the man you're thinking of, and it may not. Sometimes we are so sure, and then the Lord has a completely different idea in mind. So just rest in the goodness of God, that He has your absolute best interest at heart, and that He's going to bring the one to you that you can glorify Him with the best, that match that will bring Him the most glory. And after all, that is what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, if you'd like to see another pre-engaged mailbag video, please click on our contact form and send us a question. We'd love to hear from you and to help you too. Grace be with you.